Bhaja Govindam, verse 25. Seeing divinity and unity in all. Satrau, mitre, putre, bandhau, kuru yatnaṁ, vigrahasandhau, Sarvasminn paśyātmānaṁ, Sarvatrot sṛja, bhedājñānam. Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhaja Mudhamate. Strive not, waste not your energy to fight against or to make friends with your enemy, friend, son or relative. Seek the self everywhere. Discard the sense of division born out of ignorance. Seek Govinda, O foolish mind. Let us now listen to a story based on this verse. The first chapter of the Bhagavad Gita is about Arjuna, the great warrior, who is leading the Pandava army to fight against Kauravas, which included his cousin brothers, uncles and other relatives, teachers, guru and other respected elders, kings, allies with whom he had close relationships. His own army includes his own brothers, cousins, uncles and other kings. Lord Krishna is his friend, charioteer, who is giving guidance and is the support of Arjuna. The war is about to commence in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Arjuna asks Lord Krishna to drive his chariot into the center of the battlefield so that he can see whom he is facing in the battle. As he recognizes so many familiar faces, his feelings get the best of him. His whole body reacts and is overcome with sorrow. He loses his will to fight, saying even if they wish to kill him, he does not wish to kill them. He sees no point in the battle. If it is gaining rulership of the earth, it's not worth it. And if it is to gain glory in the heaven, it is also not worth killing his own kinsmen. Arjuna becomes confused, discouraged, and lays down his weapons, saying he will not fight. Having spoken thus, Arjuna throws aside his arrows and his bow in the midst of the battlefield. He sits down on the seat of the chariot, benumbed and despondent, and on the verge of psychological breakdown. Krishna tells Arjuna that in times of such danger, it is not befitting for him to throw down his weapons. This will be seen as cowardice and will bring disgrace to him and his lineage, thereby urging him to stand up and fight. Unable to reconcile himself to bloodstain on his hands, even if he is victorious in battle, Arjuna falls into a state of benumbed, mental collapse or utter delusion. It is at this point that Lord Krishna delivers his first teaching on life and death and outlines the philosophy of the Bhagavad Gita and the central themes of its teachings. He teaches what true wisdom is, the nature of the Atman, the futility of grieving over the inevitable, the difference between knowledge and experience, the importance of following one's dharma, and the philosophy of Karma Yoga. Krishna teaches Arjuna to use his discrimination and tries to guide him out of his spiritual confusion, which Arjuna mistakenly takes for compassion. Even though Arjuna's words seem wise, the truly wise mourn neither for the living or for the dead. True wisdom is able to discern between the real and unreal. Life is continuous. There is never a time when anyone ceases to exist. Human beings live through a cycle of birth into the body. They age, die, and then take new bodies. True wisdom is not deceived by the appearances of the cycle. Human life in this world of duality is made up of the opposites, pain and pleasure, heat and cold, which are impermanent. And Lord Krishna's advice to Arjuna is that he must endure these. Whatever is unreal can never come into existence, and what is real cannot cease to be. The imperishable pervades everything and everyone. The real self is embodied in these bodies, but does not die when the body dies. Lord Krishna compares the changing of bodies to the changing of clothes, the wise are not deceived by the illusion of death. For the soul, there is never birth nor death, nor having once been, does he ever cease to be. He is unborn, eternal, ever existing, undying, and primeval. He is not slain when the body is slain. For most of us, the battlefield is not a physical war, but a symbolic of the challenges of living one's life. We are, in a way, on a battlefield where we are faced with our positive ambitions and desires, duties and obligations to self, family, and society, and poised against us are negative characteristics and temptations. We are overwhelmed by the array of problems standing against us. We get confused, paralyzed when we have to make decisions, weighing our own interests, those of others whom we love, our duties, possible outcomes, possible consequences of our actions, or the actions of others with whom we have struggles. Then we look out for help, and if we have the grace, like Arjuna, an enlightened master comes to guide us and help us understand the difference between real and unreal. Attachment and ego are the two main reasons in our lives which control our emotions. It clouds our mind. We are unable to think clearly. We judge people easily and take some as our friends and some as our enemies. We develop certain expectations, certain patterns of thinking to which we hold on, and this causes unhappiness. We get deluded and go about the same pattern of life. Hence, to wake us up from the slumber, Shankara cautions us not to waste energy in the worldly pursuits and relationships. Once a master gives us this knowledge to see oneness in all, we should at least start working towards this direction. If we just bring about a little awareness in each day of our lives, one day we will be able to understand the purport of this calling. Now, a story for the students. In a forest, a pregnant deer is about to give birth. She finds a remote grass field near a strong flowing river. This seems a safe place. Suddenly, labor pains begin. At the same moment, dark clouds gather around above and lightning starts a forest fire. She looks to her left and sees a hunter with his bow extended, pointing at her. To her right, she spots a hungry lion approaching her. What can the pregnant deer do? She is in labor. What will happen? Will the deer survive? Will she give birth to a fawn? Will the fawn survive? Or will everything be burnt by the forest fire? Will she perish to the hunter's arrow? Will she die a horrible death at the hands of the hungry male lion approaching her? She is constrained by the fire on one side and the flowing river on the other, and boxed in her by her natural predators. What does she do? She focuses on giving birth to a new life. The sequence of events that follows are: lightning strikes and blinds the hunter. He releases the arrow, which zips past the deer and strikes the hungry lion. It starts to rain heavily, and the forest fire is slowly doused by the rain. The deer gives birth to a healthy fawn. In our life too, there are moments of choice when we are confronted on all sides with negative thoughts and possibilities. Some thoughts are so powerful, they overcome us and overwhelm us. Maybe we can learn from the deer. The priority of the deer in that given moment was simply to give birth to a baby. The rest was not in her hands, and any action or reaction that changed her focus would have likely resulted in death or disaster. Where is our focus? In the midst of the storm, keep it on the Lord. Develop clarity of thought. Refrain judging others. Be focused in your goals. Work with determination and achieve your goal. Once you follow this path in your education, work life, family life, this will become your nature. And later, you will be able to understand the significance of Shankara's statements and work towards your spiritual goal as well. Jai Sai Ram.